You know that saying that says snitches get stitches? Well, that doesn't apply to African presidents. African presidents that snitch on other African presidents, they get favors and money from America. But the thing is, you're selling out your brothers for what? For loan money that you'll have to pay back. For what? For good graces in people that do not hold you in any regard. In fact, they think you're a fool for snitching on every other person because they don't have your best interest at heart, and you're so blinded, you're so myopic that you can't see that. And because they throw a couple of dollars at you, you snitch. Well, I'm talking about the president of Ghana. There was a time that he met Anthony Blinken, and let me tell you, that man snitched on everybody on the African continent, telling everybody's business to these people as if they cared, just to get in the good graces, forgetting that these people do not like you and they don't care about you. They care about your oil, they care about your gold, they care about your cocoa, but they don't care about your well-being. And your African brothers are trying to secure their well-being, but you're going to rat them out for a couple of American favors and a couple of American dollars. Such a shame.
Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. Apart from not accepting the idea of great powers once again making Africa their theater of operation, we have a particular position that you know about over the Ukraine war.
Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome to another episode of our conversations. My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here and having conversations with you guys about Black people, Africa, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. You can connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I've also been seeing some of you even going as far as sending me emails, and I love reading your emails and getting to just see and hear what you think about all the topics that we discuss on the channel. Today I want us to talk about the president of Ghana, and he's always hot and cold. One day he's saying one thing, the next day he's saying another thing. So this is by no means a judgment of his character and where he stands as an African president, a Pan-African and a sellout. This is just based off of that video. So the Ghanaian delegation was having a meeting with the American delegation, and like I've spoken about previously in a different video, there's this Stockholm syndrome in Africa where you think your oppressor is your savior, right? Just because they exploit your gold and, you know, they employ 13 people, but they are exploiting your gold. You're blind to the fact that these people are abusing your natural resources, and you turn a blind eye to it because you're like, but at least they're giving us jobs, but at least there's some money going around in the economy. It's like Africans don't know who they are and what their worth is outside of the colonial lens, right? Whatever the white man told us we are, whatever worth we have, that's where we are stuck at. They keep forgetting that it's the same America that has said, if you do not pass certain laws that favor us in a particular type of way or enhance our agenda, we're going to slap sanctions on you. And they're not light sanctions, they're very heavy sanctions. But still, you want to be in their good books, you want to be their friend, you want them to like you, you want them to see you. And I don't know what it is, because there are so many other places that African countries could look at in terms of partnership. But no, we don't. We're so fixated on the people that continue to abuse us. Those are the ones that we want to like us. And it's the same thing with the president of Ghana. America does not have the best history in Ghana. Yet this president sat on that table and snitched on his African brothers, saying, oh, you know, in Francophone, they're having issues. They're even now in bed with Russia and Wagner forces, and we're afraid that that chaos will spill into the country. Akufo-Addo, the chaos in your country are caused by you. You and all the deals that you'll make with your American friends and your British friends that continue to oppress the people, the deals that you make with IMF and World Bank, these Bretton Woods Western institutions, are the problem. Currently, the people of Ghana are out in the streets protesting poor leadership, your leadership, poor governance, your governance, misappropriation of natural resources under your leadership, misappropriation of money that you've taxed the people, which your government is wasteful, yet you have the guts to sit at a table and talk ill about Francophone countries that are trying to free themselves of the rule of the French. You know, I don't need to repeat. If you've been watching my videos, I've spoken a lot about what France continues to do on the African continent through things like La France-Afrique Agreement. So these people are looking for alternative partners to help them achieve their goals. And I'm not saying Russia is perfect, but I'm saying Russia is saying, if you're fighting, we're willing to stand by you, right? We're willing to stand by you. These are people that are fighting for their freedom, and you take that fight and you cheapen it to score political mileage so that America can throw a couple of dollars your way. It's such a shameful thing because it just means that Africans do not speak in one accord. I don't care how much President William Ruto or President Akufo-Addo will stand at the UN National General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly rather, and talk about Pan-Africanism and the place of Africa. If you don't stand beside your African brother in their time of need, you're a sellout. You're a sellout. And for what? This is colonialism repeating itself, because this is information that you're giving America freely. America will take this information to France, and France will know how better to counter whatever defense these countries put up, because you're giving out their trade secrets. These are people that are just trying to emancipate themselves. It's the same man who is trying to sell out his people, and by his people I mean his West African counterparts, that is part of ECOWAS, that was willing to send troops to invade Niger because the people of Niger hosted a puppet leader who was installed and bestowed upon power by the French to enhance the French agenda. And when people said, nah, Niger belongs to Nigerians, ECOWAS is like it wants to do the French's dirty work on the African continent. It's such a shame. And this is the thing that I'll keep saying. And now even other Africans are beginning to say it. No matter how much you say you are an African, a Pan-African, I don't care. For as long as you don't stand beside your African brothers, particularly when it's harder to stand by.
Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. Apart from not accepting the idea of great powers once again making Africa their theater of operation, we have a particular position that you know about over the Ukraine war, where we have been very, very vocal and upfront about condemning the invasion of Russia by Russia. And therefore, they're now to have this group at our borders is a matter of some considerable disquiet and concern for us. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications and what we believe ought to be the case. This is what took place with the discussion in the Congress yesterday, which I found very fruitful. And I would like that the themes of that discussion should be the themes that we should continue to address. To what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats. It is very important that ECOWAS and the West African area remains a democratic space. There's a reason for the actions we took over the coup d'etats in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Guinea. And ECOWAS has been very consistent in refusing to deal with these governments because of the undemocratic nature of their accession to power. The commitment to democratic values and institutions is a high priority for our states. We in Ghana have been through all kinds of arrangements, governance arrangements in the past, one-party state, all kinds of experiments have taken place. And our people are now very clear in their mind. They want to go down the avenue of democratic engagement. And that is why the last 30 years of the Fourth Republic have been the most stable in our country's history. We want to do everything to preserve that. But there are enemies of democracy who are working hard in West Africa today. And therefore it's important that we bring that matter to your notice and see to what extent we can engage you as a reliable partner in the pushback of those forces.
Well, that's all I had for you on this episode of our conversation. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time in another video. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know, because I keep seeing African leaders just selling out their people. And then when they go on global platforms, they're the biggest Pan-Africans. Walk the talk. President Nyerere, President Kwame Nkrumah, President Nelson Mandela, this was some of the biggest Pan-Africans on the African continent. They were willing to go to war with their African brothers even though they'd gained independence. They were willing to stand by their African brothers during the hardest time. And during the colonial era, it was really hard because these people were using brute force. Now we've gotten to a place where you just can't do it anyhow because international eyes are on you and you care about how you look like. You don't even care about the people. You just care about how you look like and how it will reflect on you. But back in the day, that did not exist. You help people at your own risk. But Africans stood by each other. Now, Africans stand next to the dollar. Whoever is dishing it, that's who I'm with. I don't care. I don't care if you look like me. I don't care if you go through the same challenges as me. If I can sell you out for a couple of bucks, toodles. Such a shame. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll see you again in the next video.